Hello everyone and welcome back to SmashClass. This week we're going to be looking at advantage state. My name is Ramses and I'm here to guide you through the step-by-step process of becoming a competitive threat. We look at how to establish your combo, how to build your combo, and now we're going to look at what you have to do after your combo, because the combo itself, very important, but the hard part comes afterwards. Let's take a look at some of the juggling in Smash Bros. Ultimate. So juggling is all about keeping your opponent in the air. Can you find the next hit? Well, there are some important aspects that you need to know going into a juggle state. So something that we discussed before and that is still very important is to understand that your opponent has less options in the air, right? So when I'm on the ground, I can move around. These dashes are extremely fast. I have my shield available to me. I have my jab, my tilts, my specials, my smashes. I have so many options. Dash attack even. I can grab as well, right? And when you're in the air, a lot of these options kind of leave, right? So in the air, I cannot shield. I can only dodge. I don't have a grab, right? Some characters have a zair, but it's basically an extra attack. It's not really a grab. I cannot dash attack. I cannot really easily change my momentum. Right on the ground, I can do this. I'm just constantly nimble, constantly in motion. But in the air, the way I can drift, very limited. So capitalizing on these limitations is basically what we call a juggle. In other words, you're kind of trying to keep your opponent up in the air. You're juggling them in the air. So the most important thing to understand about being in the air is that you only have a limited amount of options, right? So you can double jump, you can air dodge, you can attack, and then some characters have extra options like Zero Suit, for example, can down B out as well. So the standard three options are double jump, air dodge, and attack. So when we are juggling our opponent, we want to try to cover these options. So we want to cover the air dodge, and we can do that by doing what is known as a frame trap. So let me try to set that up for you. So when my opponent air dodges out of a combo, I can actually punish their dodge. So take a look at this. Right? And I got an extra up air after the dodge was over. So let's take a look at that again. And I got an extra attack after the dodge was over. So one of the negatives of air dodging is that there are some moves that last a shorter duration than the air dodge. Of course, this is very character specific, so figure out, hey, does my character have a move that is fast enough to still be able to punish an air dodge? Zero Suit, known as a very fast, very nimble character, has that type of movement, has that type of frame data. But a character like, for example, Shulk, who's known to be a little bit slower, might not have those tools available. So that's air dodging, that's covering an air dodge. Of course, the other thing to keep in mind is that you can do a neutral air dodge, you can also do directional air dodges. Now the thing about a neutral air dodge is that it's very fast. If you neutral air dodge to the ground, immediate shield, very hard to beat an air dodge to the ground, right? So, but a directional air dodge, while it might mix up your positioning, has a lot more lag when it hits the ground. So that is a risk reward you got to keep in mind. While the directional air dodge might be more surprising, might catch your opponent off guard, it is also more laggy, has more lag at the end of the move. So in that sense, it's easier to punish. So as you can see, if I hit Peach and she air dodges away, I can chase it down and hit her on reaction. So keep in mind, if your opponent's air dodging away, it becomes that much easier to react and chase them down. So that's dodging. So when you're juggling, be sure to wait for dodges and then punish them on reaction. Sometimes you can cover them, like we mentioned before, where you just throw out another move, and then if they do dodge, you can always chase from there. So really play around and get a feel of, hey, where's the lag in the air dodge? How can I punish that? How can I cover that as well? Right, so there I went for a second up air, dodge, and still covered the landing. The better you get at doing this, the more important or the more pressing your advantage state becomes, because now your opponent has to rely on jumps and attacks, and they only get one jump. So let's talk a little bit about beating jumps when your opponent is getting juggled. So say that my opponent always jumps out of my combos. Like for example, I hit him with an up tilt, jump out. Then I want to start chasing my opponent, right? So I can say, hey, I know you're going to jump. Let me follow you up there and get after you. And then they don't have a jump to get out of the next sequence. So in the long term, it's an extremely strong position for us. Right? So now I can up B knowing, they cannot jump out. Of course, in these positions, they can still dodge or attack, but they have lost a valuable resource, and now it's going to be harder for them to mix at the time when they are going to land on the stage because they can no longer use the jump to further delay their landing. So catching a jump is not even about getting the follow-up hit, it's about denying that resource from your opponents and then making sure that without that resource, they can no longer land at all, right? So we get this one hit and now they have to land without their jump. Good luck recovering without your jump, and Peach is dead. So the better you get at reading jumps, again, you can kind of hit them, wait to see what they do, and then react and chase them based on that. It's never a true punish, right? So if they know I'm going to chase them to get your double jump, they could do another dodge, but then they're putting all their eggs in one basket, right? Whenever you're in the air, you can only double jump once, you can only air dodge once. So if you use both your double jump and your air dodge, you're basically using all of your resources. So chasing these jumps is very important because it makes it that much harder for your opponent to land afterwards. And it kind of, both of these kind of fall in the same category where both a double jump and an air dodge are not threatening to you, so you can wait them out and react. But if you start waiting, your opponent will start attacking out of disadvantage. Let's take a look at how that works. Say I hit my opponent and they immediately attack me out of it. Well, that poses a problem. So in those situations, I want to figure out, okay, what can my character do about these attacks, right? And here we kind of go back to what we talked about before, for example, out of shield, right? So if I know I have an out of shield option that can hit them, then I can use that to punish it. In this case, Zero Suit Sam, as you know, the up B, probably your fastest out of shield option, doesn't really reach. Now, perhaps I have something else, right? So the up B doesn't reach, but the up smash does. So in that sense, you know, finding the options that work for your character is very, very important. So now I can hit him, wait, and then use an up smash to put them back into the air. Then we can go into the true juggle, right? Because from that distance, she cannot actually attack me. So if she whiffs, I can again react and kind of hit her, similar to the air dodge or the double jump. So it's very positionally based. So an attack often requires you to kind of respect the attack, right? And then from there, whiff punish it. So I can, for example, also do this, wait for her to miss, and then grab her on the landing, right? So I am also playing around the attacks using my superior range or even my superior option, so I can dash away and dash back in and then punish it as well because I'm on the ground. So play around the attack and punish them for attacking. And we can actually combine all three, say, hey, we hit an up air, dash back, if they double jump, chase them, if they air dodge, chase them, and if they attack, punish them. So in that sense, keeping your options open is very, very important if you want to hold on to your juggling position. And then from there, you can transition your juggle into a combo, right? So, hey, we got the grab, maybe we want to do a down throw, and then go for a combo out of our juggle. So your combos lead into juggles, and your juggles lead into combos. So keep in mind, you got to confirm your hits, you got to find the right follow-up to your initial pressure. So that's the goal. When you get that first hit, try to get the next hit and keep your opponent in the air. Try to keep them juggled up there. And find the tools that work for your character, that beat attacks, that beat air dodges, that beat double jumps as well. And keep in mind, some characters have their unique tools. So for example, Zero Suit, when Zero Suit is getting juggled, she wants to use down B to get out of the situation as well. So now you got to keep in mind not just the air dodge, the attack, and the double jump, but also the down B out of the situation. So look into what unique properties your character has to get out of juggles as well, right? Because juggling is not about doing it, it's also about getting out of it. So understand, hey, these are the weaknesses of these ways that I try to get out of juggles, and these are the ways I need to mix it up to prevent getting punished, right? So if your opponent is constantly punishing the way you attack out of the air, then perhaps you need to start jumping away from them and avoiding them entirely, right? So figure out, hey, how do these options complement each other, and how do they come together to form a complete game plan? So that's juggling. It's all about keeping your opponents in the air and kind of combining assertion as well as reaction. Sometimes you want to assert your follow-up, sometimes you want to cover their air dodge with multiple options, and sometimes you want to purely react to what the opponent does and go from there. I would say, you know, go into a game and really try to focus on keeping your opponent in the air as long as possible, and then when they land, try to figure out, hey, what went wrong? Why did I let them land? Of course, when juggling, keep in mind, characters have various fall speeds, as well as various ways that they attack out of the air. So figure out, how does your character attack out of the air? How does your character fall out of the air? As well as your opponent, right? Maybe Peach falls a little bit slower, so you might have to wait a little bit extra, whereas Zero Suit falls a little bit faster, so you need to be there faster to cover her landing. Really do your research and come back to me next week when we continue our journey into advantage state and look at some off-stage pressure and some ways that you can end your opponent's stocks early. For now, of course, that was all. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next week. Stay smart.